odds to win the national championship. While Indiana entered the season at 100-1 odds. The biggest preseason underdog to win the title since 2001 is Cam Newton's 2010 Auburn Tigers at 50-1. Maybe that's why he was saying dang over there. So regardless of who wins, we'll have either the biggest long shot this century in Indiana or the second largest in Miami. And so Cam, since you were commenting there, more pressure to finish the job. Is it the U or IU? What do you think?
Well, I'm a kind of balance beam this real quick because both of them have different pressures, but pressures nevertheless. For Miami, you have an edge for not being able to travel. You have the edge by having that same routine that you've implemented and inserted all year. You have the edge for this actually being a home game. That's your edge. Well, on the other side, what Coach Curt Cinetti is, well, Fernando Mendoza and Co wants to protect that O. When you're 14-0, only thing that you can say to yourself, you have not tasted defeat all year. What does that look like? Being faced or looking down that barrel and saying, oh my God, it better not happen. That can create some cause for concern and in preparation, knowing that this is a very physical team that we're going to go up against in Miami. So, I don't want to say they haven't faced that type of situation all year because they did with an explosive defense in Ohio State. But nevertheless, I would say the pressure is on both teams. It's just how each team navigates those different situations.
Right, go ahead.
Oh, it's me? Oh, cool, good. So here's what I think. I think it's Indiana, and here's why. The Indiana Hoosiers are one game away from being everything Curt Cignetti believed they'd become and everything he said they already are. What's that dude's name? The bowler, right? When he was like, what's Pete Weber or something like that?
Yeah.
He was like, who are you?
Yes.
I am.
Weber.
That's it. Hey,
I am.
That's who Curt Cignetti has been since he walked onto Indiana's campus. When he left from coaching with Nick Saban and took a job at a lesser school on a lesser level because he wanted to be a head coach, because he believed the whole time this is who he was. He believed the whole time this is what he could create. And whether it was at IUP, whether it was at James Madison, whether it's been at Indiana, he's been everything that he said he was. His team has become everything that he said they'd be. And this is the last step. And when you go through the season like they have, without a blemish, finding a way to come back in Penn State, winning against Ohio State when no one thought you had the talent, absolutely blowing the doors off of Oregon, this is the last and final step. And let's be real, Miami playing with house money. Nobody expected Miami to be here. Miami even downplays it when you ask Mario Cristobal if the U is back. He talks about all the championships that they won and being a little bit away from what all those teams are. The one man who is saying, nah, we ain't trying to get back, nah, we ain't almost there, is Curt Cignetti. He put the pressure on his team, and Fernando Mendoza and his teammates have been answering every single question, and it's only one left. And that's to win it all.
Let's go, RC. Let's go.
Well, RC, first of all, take notes. Ryan Clark is right. See how easy that is? It's not hard. It's not hard. Ryan Clark is right. You know, see how easy that is? It's very, very easy.
That for me and send it to me. Send that to me.
Send it to you. RC is absolutely right. It's about Indiana. It's about Indiana because of the expectations, because they're the #1 team in the nation, because head and shoulders they've looked better than everybody, particularly in these playoffs. And when you saunter into the national championship game, fresh off of not one but two consecutive beatdowns, where you destroy Alabama and you embarrass them 38-3, and then you turn around and you go up against Dan Lanning and you make one of the best coaches in college football look woefully ill-prepared. And that's just how it came down to, because of how Oregon got annihilated to the point where, Dante Moore said, I'm going to stay in school. I'm going to stay in school. I'm not ready. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You know that you've done something special. We've got to pay attention to that and look at it from that standpoint. Miami, the one thing that I will say is this. Yeah, you're sort of playing with house money, but you are on your home turf. And if you end up losing the game, RC and Cam, all right, fine. Because you lost to a team that is widely considered the better team. If you get your ass kicked, on national television in the national championship game on your home turf, now that's different. And let me tell you something. I'm going to bring up Michael Irvin, the playmaker here, okay? You know, because he in hiding right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had this hard of a time catching him, okay? He hiding right now. That's when Michael Irvin is nervous as hell when you can't find him. He's nervous as hell, okay? Because he knows there's the potential for an ass kicking coming, right? Miami better be ready. Because Indiana, you know they're going to be ready. Cignetti is giving you no indication that this team is not going to be ill-prepared. That's not going to be prepared. If you're Miami, Michael Irvin is famous for talking about going crazy. Don't let anyone come into your house. Your house. This is what he does all the time. Well, this is what it is right here. This is where Miami plays. This is the site of their home games. This is truly their house. And you roll up in there, I can tell you, everybody, it's going to be bananas there Monday night. Make no mistake. And the only thing that could derail it is an ass kicking. And we don't suspect that's going to happen to Indiana. We fear that might happen to Miami. They better be ready. So I'm not going to say they're not playing. They're playing with total house money. A loss in a competitive matchup, fine. But it can't be like it was against Oregon, where the game is over in the first quarter. That cannot happen.
And that's why I feel like Stephen A. is right. Like the pressure, in my opinion, I'm an IU grad, is actually on Miami because if they get their butt kicked at home, you have to remember, Indiana wasn't ranked #1 until they beat Ohio State. Yeah. They were not this juggernaut of a football team. I mean, some thought they were, but not many, up until the very end of the season. Miami, what did we all say right after Miami won their last game? Well, after they beat Ole Miss. The U's not back till they start winning chips again. Well, they have an opportunity to do that. And Kim, I do fear that maybe a butt kicking might be coming at home, and that means there's added pressure to this Hurricanes team.
No, that's not going to happen. I can tell you that right now. You got all type of Zoes and Cubans and all type of folks coming from here to the 954, 786, 305. That will not happen. I almost will put a hat on that. But to understand the pressure aspect and the pressure dynamic, I'm putting it on Miami for a different reason. It really comes down to Carson Beck. Carson, do you have it in you? Do you have the wherewithal, the absolute understanding, or the gall to be able to say the team that you're facing feeds off of one thing and one thing only: turnovers? Can you protect the football? They have this innate ability to be able to cause disruption and cause confusion with teams that they face, and Indiana has been the best at that. They lead the country in turnover differential. So for us, if I'm getting prepared, if I'm in Miami's shoes, I'm saying to myself, if we protect the football and we maximize and sustain drives, we'll be okay. As far as a butt kicking, the butt kicking is going to happen if we look up the stat line and you got Carson Beck with multiple turnovers, or any member of the Miami Hurricanes team with multiple turnovers. That's going to lead to points. That's how it turned into 59 or 56 points for Oregon in the Indiana game, because you had a pick six, that's a turnover. You had another turnover inside the 10 or inside the 5-yard line. You almost gift wrapped it. So Curt Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers have been able to really get after teams and cause confusion. Well, and once they cause confusion, they capitalize on it.
Let me say this on national television. I'm not apologizing for it to anybody. I'm rooting for Miami. I'm sorry, Shay. I'm sorry. Because I've been on the record stating that if Indiana wins, you know what? It's another team in the Big Ten that's won a national championship for the third consecutive year. And the debate is over, obviously, in terms of the SEC falling off its pedestal. And now it's all about the Big Ten, and it's all about Indiana because Cignetti's not going anywhere, okay? But if the U wins, if Miami wins, now we're talking about college football, and nostalgia kicks in, and you're talking about their heyday, and you're talking about a team from the ACC, you know, winning the national championship and all this stuff. It's not Clemson with Dabo, but this is the U. It's Miami. It's a different allure. So I root for Miami on that level. But I also think it's important to point out that, you can root for Miami. You believe they have a chance, but they have to play a near perfect game. They can't afford 10 penalties with for 74 yards. They can't afford that against this Indiana team.